The NBA trade deadline is 2 weeks away, and we will be going live for that big day on February 8th, whether it be myself, Nic Rohloff, or anybody else here at the Chat Sports team. Make sure you hit that sub button so you do not miss any moves or rumors leading up to that deadline, and join us when we're going to be live on the February 8th deadline. All right, today's show is loaded with some trade rumors, and we'll start with Dejounte Murray because is a trade to the Lakers heating up? Then we'll go into Bruce Brown because he was dealt in that Pascal Siakam deal, but he's not expected to stay in Toronto. Is he going to be rerouted? And then Malcolm Brogdon, the guard in Portland, is he garnering interest at that deadline? We'll dive into that to close out today's show. But let's jump into Dejounte Murray because the latest surrounding the Atlanta Hawks point guard suggests the Los Angeles Lakers are the team closest to acquiring Murray. They've been the team that has been linked to him the most. And since Terry Rozier got traded to the Miami Heat yesterday, it feels like a two-horse race between the Knicks and Lakers, with it most likely being Los Angeles. And Dejounte Murray has been fantastic this season, right? 21, 5, and 5. He's been a mainstay in that Hawks rotation. 43 games played when Trae Young has been in and out of the lineup. And this is a career year for Dejounte Murray from beyond the arc. 39%, you see it on screen right now. That is as good as he's ever shot it from deep in the NBA. And Sam Amick, who has a lot of sources in the NBA, had this exact quote to even, if you're a Lakers fan, well, cement the interest of Los Angeles and Rob Pelinka. It feels like the Lakers have separated themselves from the Dejounte pack. It has always felt like a three-team race between the Knicks, the Heat, and the Lakers. Well, you saw one team drop out after acquiring Terry Rozier, and if the Knicks don't want to meet the asking price of the Atlanta Hawks, well, it might be all Los Angeles. What is that Hawks asking price, you might ask? Well, here it is, also reported from Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports, who kind of had the Terry Rozier thing in that Terry wanted to join the Miami Heat. Pat Riley made that happen. But the Hawks asking price reportedly has been 2 first-round picks and a starting-level player from whoever they get. And if you look at the Lakers, well, they might actually have a crazy trade package for the Atlanta Hawks. This is very unlikely. I do want to state this clear, but I thought this would be very fun and a crazy trade that could benefit both sides, right? The Lakers get 2 rotation players alongside Dejounte Murray with Saddiq Bey and Patty Mills. And the Hawks on the flip side, well, they get the starting backcourt in Los Angeles of D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. Alongside that first-round pick they asked, they're not going to get 2 first-round picks, but they get 2 second-round picks, and they give up Saddiq Bey as well with Dejounte Murray. Let's look at that Lakers duo, by the way, that the Hawks would be getting in return because, well, D'Lo's actually picked up his game as of late. It hasn't been the prettiest year for the lefty out of Ohio State, but he's picked things up over the last week or so, just absolutely going nuclear. He's improved his points per game, by the way, by almost a full 1.5 points over the last couple weeks. D'Lo is on a hot streak. Austin Reeves. I do want to talk a little about Reeves because he's someone that, for some reason, the media and fans just adore and think of himself as this big-time player in the NBA, a third option, some valuable trade asset. Call me crazy, I don't see it. I know the raw numbers don't tell the whole story of Austin Reeves, but I don't think he can be a third option on a championship-level team. He could be a damn good 4th or 5th guy as a high-level role player, but I do not see him as a difference maker on a team that wins an NBA title. It has also been reported in the past that the Atlanta Hawks would want Austin Reeves in a package for Dejounte Murray if it was with the Lakers. It would be a good get to pair up with Trae Young, I guess. I don't know. I don't really see the hype in Austin Reeves, but maybe y'all disagree. I do want to go back to this crazy trade idea that I threw out there of Murray, Saddiq Bey, and Patty Mills heading to Los Angeles, and D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, 2 second-rounders, and a 2029 first-round pick going to Atlanta. Who wins this trade? Type LAL for the Lakers. Type ATL if you think it's the Atlanta Hawks. Let's move on to story number 2, and that is Bruce Brown. What is his market looking like? As I mentioned to start off today's show, he was in that package Toronto got for Pascal Siakam when they dealt him to Indiana to pair up with Tyrese Haliburton. The fascinating thing with Bruce Brown is that Well, he signed a 2-year deal with the Pacers this offseason worth $45 million. So that's 2 for 45 to 2020 or 22.5 per season. But the real intriguing thing there is that it is a team option for year number 2. So if the Raptors or whatever team trades for Bruce Brown doesn't want to keep him for next year at that salary number, well, Bruce Brown could be on the free agency market once again. There has been 3 teams heavily linked to Bruce Brown over the past week or so as he's been sitting in the 6 with Toronto. The Dallas Mavericks, the Los Angeles Lakers yet again, and the New York Knicks. We'll talk more about Bruce Brown and the potential fits with these 3 teams in a bit. But shout out to Factor Meals who are sponsoring today's video. And if you go to factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use code NBAchat50, you could get 50% off. Skip the grocery store's prep work and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. Over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. Plus, over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your healthy resolutions. Forget frantic lunch preps and rush dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are your secret weapon in 2024. Fuel up fast with restaurant-quality meals, all delivered right to your door. They are ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. I've got a busy schedule. I know most of you have a busy schedule as well. These help you get healthy and nutritious meals while on the go with no time wasted at all. So head to factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use code NBAchat50 to get 50% off. That's code NBAchat50 at factormeals.com/NBAchat50. Get that 50% off today. I am going to put that link and promo code in the description and comments of today's video. Let's look at Bruce Brown because he was a major help to the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA Finals last season when they beat the Miami Heat in 5 games. And Bruce Brown got paid for it. He was a fantastic role player in Denver, working alongside Jamal Murray, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. This year, though, for the Indiana Pacers/Toronto Raptors, 33 games played hasn't really lived up to the hype. And what Bruce Brown brings to the table is a lot more than the stats you see on screen. The 3-point shooting is a little bit low for him. You would have expected that number to be about 36, 37, 38 maybe, but he brings intangibles. A lot of what Josh Hart brings to the table for the New York Knicks. It's the hustle plays, it's the defense, it's the rotations, the extra pass, the maybe not get an assist, but you get the hockey assist. Bruce Brown is someone who fits in well. I do not think he's worth $22.5 million per year, but Bruce Brown is definitely one of the better role players in our NBA. And when you look at the 3 teams I mentioned, who makes the most sense for Mr. Brown, the former Miami Hurricane? I think out of the 3 teams of the Mavericks, Lakers, and Knicks, well, the Mavericks make the most sense because they can use someone that can guard a little bit bigger than their position, right? They have Kyrie and Luka in the backcourt, but they need that 3-and-D guy. Bruce Brown not bringing the 3 this year, but he certainly would bring the D in Dallas. So maybe Bruce Brown could be a really good addition for them. You look at the Lakers and the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks should go in for Bruce Brown. Why, you ask? Well, I mentioned Josh Hart. Well, Bruce Brown and Josh Hart are essentially the same player. Maybe Bruce Brown is a little bit better than Hart, but why would you trade for Bruce Brown when you already have Jay Hart, who's on a cheaper deal? And then just looking quickly at the Los Angeles Lakers with their potential fit for Bruce Brown, I think they are better well served going out to try to use their assets for Dejounte Murray type rather than using it on a role player like Bruce Brown. They need some more help in that backcourt, not really the 3-and-D role player that Bruce Brown is. But maybe you disagree. Maybe you don't think it should be the Dallas Mavericks that should trade for Bruce Brown. Maybe you do think it's the Knicks or Lakers. Let me know in the comment section who should trade for BB, Bruce Brown, down below. All right, let's round out today's show by talking about Malcolm Brogdon. Could the Trailblazers guard be on the move before the trade deadline of February 8th. There's been 4 teams that have been showing interest according to Sam Amico. Those 4 teams, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets, and then once again, the New York Knicks and Los Angeles Lakers. Is this NBA now or is this the Knicks and Lakers report? What is going on? But Brogdon has been solid for Portland this season, obviously being dealt a part of that massive Drew Holiday deal, and then you get the deal with Damian Lillard, all those moving parts. Brogdon ended up in Portland, who have really struggled this year. But he is a 3-point sniper, a 3-and-D point guard who is really solid. 42.2% from beyond arc for Brogdon is really solid. He isn't going to give you anything else outside of the threes, but what he will give you is playmaking and some steadyship at that point guard position while being able to knock down some shots beyond the arc. And when you talked about those 4 teams I just mentioned of the Rockets, T-Wolves, Knicks and Lakers, I think the Knicks and T-Wolves make the most sense for me because when the Knicks traded for OG Anunoby, which has worked out for them quite well so far in the first 10 to 12 games they've played, well, they traded Emmanuel quickly. And the biggest question for me when it comes to the New York Knicks in terms of them winning a title is their depth, is their bench. Their starting 5 is fantastic of Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG, Hartenstein, and Julius Randle. But who is going to fill in for those 10 to 15 minutes that Brunson sits down? And could they find someone that can also play alongside Brunson in that backcourt? Brogdon's defense and experience coming off the bench, winning 6th Man of the Year last season for the Boston Celtics, would be a dream marriage for the Knicks. It's not a flashy move, but it's one that will ensure their ability to be in that second round of the playoffs for the second straight year and potentially maybe get to that conference finals if they can upset one of the Celtics, Heat, and 76ers and Bucks. And real quickly here, mentioning the T-Wolves, I think they have a chance to make some noise in the Western Conference this year, but they can't rely on all of Gobert, Cat, and Anthony Edwards. Mike Conley's been terrific for them, but the same thing goes for the Knicks as the T-Wolves. They need some more bench pieces. They need let's just say a guard in that backcourt that you can really trust down the stretch alongside Conley, alongside Anthony Edwards. I think Brogdon can be that guy because he provides 3 and the D, which wins you some basketball games, let me say that. That's going to do it for today's show. As always, make sure you hit that sub button if you were with us for the entire episode. I appreciate that. And if you want more NBA trade coverage and want to have a live show to watch and break down all of the moves happening on that February 8th trade deadline, we're going to be the spot for you. So hit that sub button here at Chat Sports right now.